Self-Destruct sequence activated.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Self-Destruct Sequence podcast. This is episode 41, and today is Sunday, December 18th, and this is going to be our final podcast of the year. Morphod, unavailable today. He is working feverishly on a project for school. Hopefully we'll have him back for the new year. And to jump right into the news here, of course, Descent Underground's been extremely busy lately. They've released their winter update. They call it Jingle, build 2881. They actually added auto-leveling to this. It's on by default, so if you're playing it and all of a sudden your ship's doing some weird things, go turn it off. I know that a lot of our listeners are very much Descent veterans, and we don't want to have that on, so be sure to turn that off the next time you're in the production build for Descent Underground. Valor has some changes made. Of course, Valor used to have shield power-ups littered all around, and they'd respawn occasionally. They turned those off. So Valor is now, I want to say, more of a standard type of level that doesn't have the shield power-ups. You can still get shield power-ups when you kill an opponent, but you're not going to be able to just fly around and fill up on shields. And they're testing this out. They're saying that they're trying to see how this plays, how people like it. So definitely go give them feedback if you play that over on their forums. They have their Holiday Madness, of course. Their ship skins all dressed up in ugly holiday sweaters, so check that out. The match length times, those are now configurable. No longer are you locked into 10 minutes. You can change that. They have a new corporate wargame mode where you... this is kind of like... The corporate wargame mode, to me, is what they were wanting to do all the time with this game. This was their main game mode, where you have to go mine stuff, take it back to your drone bay and whatnot, and you get points for it, so on and so forth. It is now available in production on Micro Tycho, Coliseum, and BAM. So check out those maps. This was their original idea for gameplay in Descent Underground, so it's definitely worth checking out. A little more update on the radar. That's now in production, but the radar will only show players that are in line of sight. So you can't see someone that's like around the corner or anything like that. There is one exception to that, and that's a boss robot, which that's not PvP, so you don't have to worry about that, people finding you out on radar. The HUD, of course, fully 3D, as we've been talking about in previous episodes with the updates I've been making on the Underground build. You can now see what ranking you are as well, which is nice to have, because you can kind of see that now in Descent 1, 2, 3. You can see everyone's score, but at least now you can see the rank. That's kind of more along the lines of things like, I want to say, Unreal Tournament, stuff like that. So they're adding more stuff to the HUD, and they're switching some things around. They've added Minor Mayhem as a game mode to BAM and Tycho. And they have improved some performance on BAM. There's a ton of notes on this build. You can go check that out over at descentunderground.com. Just go to the blog section under the production build notes, and you'll be able to find that pretty quick. Descent Underground is not the only game releasing updates. Descent Rebirth has finally released their 0.60 beta. It's the first beta. It's released. You can get it over at dxx-rebirth.com. And I was kind of afraid when they released this that this would kind of like invalidate the new player page on Descent Champions to get people up and running with Retro. It does not, because the file that comes from is that it is dxx-rebirth.com, but it's straight from a future pilot, and he has not changed that location. So hopefully that won't change for a while. But yeah, Descent Rebirth, they've released their first beta. Definitely go check that out, see how it plays. There's a lot of stuff that got backported from Retro into it, and there's a lot of new stuff in it as well. And we went over the patch notes in a previous episode, And it sounds like this is a huge undertaking to get this to 060, and hopefully they'll work out all the bugs. They did a lot of bug testing on this over the last couple of weeks to get everything working right, and hopefully that is everything that they'll release for 060, and they can start working on other things. I understand they want to do their version of the observer mode, which would be really cool to see that in Rebirth. So definitely go check that out. dxx-rebirth.com. One final note, of course, the Descent Rangers had their last game night recently. It was for the Turkey Shoot Shaker Edition, and man, I did not wake up in time for that. I wanted to do that, but it sounds like that. It sounds like it was a lot of fun. There were even people that got kills as a turkey, which you can only flare people, and this is an Earthshaker. I don't know how that works, but Varian ended up winning the medal. He ended up getting 25 points. So did Skywarp, though. I'm not quite sure how they did the tiebreaker on that. I think it might have been... yeah, I'm not quite sure how the tiebreaker works, but Varian getting the extra points there. So congratulations to him. And, of course, we have the results of the Descent Ranger mapping contest. Maestro, Lato 2, and Swarthy all got the medals. And I believe that Swarthy's was one that was voted on. I know that it was one I voted for as well. So you can definitely check those out over on DescentRangers.com to see what the results of that were. And now, we're going to get into the part I'm sure Morphod is just upset over missing. There has been a lot of action over the last 2 weeks. There's been 174 games played on the Descent Champions Ladder. That's 38 games of Diamond vs. Gold. That's been a long time since we've seen Gold put in that much activity, but there's also been a lot of activity down low, too. Silver versus Bronze with 38 games. So definitely a ton of activity. We want to say hello to Venom666, Maestro, and Lato 2, all playing games this week. Can I Play Dad also made a quite a bit of noise here. He did not pick up... Oh, he did pick up one win against Bronze, and that was a 20-1 domination over Venom666 in Athena. But the noise he's been making has been more in the Silver area. He didn't pick up a win, but he's got 4 threats. 2 of them are against Phyrix, 16-20 in Vamped, and 15-20 in Logic. One against Watts, that's 16-20 in Logic, and one against Swarthy, also 16-20. This one is in Crimson. Up next, we say hello to Bird Dog. Bird Dog is actually in the middle of a promotion challenge. He's got 2 games remaining, and he's only got 1 day left to play it. But there have been a lot of people coming in and out of that challenge as well. So I would imagine that if he wishes to play this out, that it will probably get extended, but that remains to be seen. Technically, it does end today. But he is 1-0 versus Bronze with a 20-14 win over Lee in a level called SHLW. That is a fusion map in which Bird Dog retained the fusion trophy. No surprise there. But as far as his promotion goes, we'll take a look at that. His first game up was against Ernie392, and talk about getting off on a bad foot. 3-20 was the final there, a -7 firmly in the column. And then Lady Silver held nothing back either, holding him to 7 for a -5. B2AF... he managed to get double digits on B2AF, but that still wasn't enough. 11-20 is a -2, so he's sitting at -14 with 2 games left. And his final 2 games, one of them's against me, and the target score is 15. What that means for the challenge is that he needs to beat me in regulation to get the full +7 points. And against Lee in Athena, he needs to beat Lee 20-16 to get 7 points, and that's the only way you can get him. If he misses on either of those 2 games, he's going to be looking from the sidelines again. Of course, he failed his previous challenge with a -1. I think that was last month. So hopefully we can see Bird Dog get back into Silver. He's been Silver, I think, twice before now, and he's definitely got the skill for it. We'll see if he can finish this out, or if he's going to have to wait until next season. Yeah, that reminds me, the DCL season does end before we're on next, so then we'll do a full season recap either for the next episode or the following one, depending on how much time I get to prepare that. Anyway, moving on, we have Skywarp. playing 2 games this week, both against Maestro, and both of them are dominations, 20-9 in Ascend and 20-7 in Crimson. And then Big Rat coming back. He's kind of been a little inactive, but that inactivity has not stopped him from being one of the top bronze pilots. And he proves why as he takes a 1-1 record over Lee. He lost to him once, but he did beat him 20-15 in NISA. So Big Rat still retaining that top spot, but there's more to it, as we also are going to talk about Lee. Lee is ahead of Big Rat, but there's a reason he's not on the top spot, because this man has been playing 75 games in the last 2 weeks. That is 17-2 versus bronze, including 2 close games, 20-17 over Lato 2 in Killbox, and 20-15 over Can I Play Dad in Mind Tricks. There was also a huge domination of a 20-4 over Maestro, and some other dominations that did not get picked up by my program because reasons include 20-9 over Lato 2 in Thine Hour Has Come in Descent 2, 20-10 over Lato 2 in UG, 20-6 over Maestro in Forte, 20-8 over Maestro in Logic, 20-9 over Maestro in Remix, 20-8 over Maestro in Neptune, 20-10 over Maestro in Lurk, and man, that's a lot of dominations for a bronze pilot. In addition to this, he's picked up a few dark horses over the last week as well. 20-17 over Phyrix in Ascend, 20-15 over Swarthy in Oxford, 20-17 over Phyrix in Valor, 20-17 over Watts in oh geez, you got to be kidding me. Mega Take 2 X4. I have no words for that. Also, a 24-22 overtime victory in an equally insane level, Mega Wrath X4. I mean, okay. And a 20-18 win over Watts in a fusion map. Oh no. Also had I missed a few dark horses again for reasons. 16-20 threatening score over against Phyrix in Savage. Overtime loss to Watts 22-24 in Mega Tantrum X4. 15-20 against Watts in Ascend X4 twice. They played the same level. They got the same score. They even got the same number of suicides. So good job for Lee. Watts is very fearsome in that level. 19-21 overtime loss against Phyrix and Crimson. An 18-20 loss against Watts in, Jesus, these get worse, Mega Pillbox X4. At least that one existed before Lee started going crazy here, right? 20-22 overtime loss to Phyrix in Vamped. And a 17-20 loss to Phyrix in Synapse. These are all close games against for bronze versus silver, so these are very impressive scores. 17-20 against B2AF and Flea, and 18-20 against V2AF and Forte, and 18-20 against Swarthy in Flea X2, and finally a 15-20 threatening score against Hyper in Swiss Cheese Sorrow. He's not done. He's also been playing a lot of gold pilots, and he's gotten 2 threatening scores as bronze against Melvin in 17-20 with 2 suicides in Mega Athena. I mean, these levels. Lee definitely likes his Mega Missiles. And 18-20 in a more standard level of Greenland. And the reason why my program isn't picking these up, and I have to actually read these out, is he's had a promotion challenge. And it just concluded early this morning. So let's see how that went. Of course, he played B2AF in Mind Tricks. Needed 12, only got 11, so he lost 1 there. Similar story against Watts. Playing in, this was the Ascend X4 game we talked about earlier, 15-20. He needed 16, so started off kind of slow with a -2. But then he just knocked it out of the park, beating Phyrix in Valor 20-17 and Swarthy in Oxford 20-15 for a +7 in both of those matches. And finally, putting up 17 points on Lady Silver when he only needed 11 for a +6. That is 18 points. And ladies and gentlemen, Lee is silver. So congratulations to him. Moving on to silver here, we're going to talk about P-Funk here. I'll say hello to him. He's played 2 games against Can I Play Dad. Hyper also playing a couple games. No wins against silver, but 2-0 over Lee this week. Same with Swarthy here, 2-1 versus Bronze, and just barely missed out on getting the Silver Fusion Trophy out of B2AF's hands. We'll get to that a little later. Fyrix as well. He's been playing a bunch of games, but no games against Silver this week. 7-2 against Bronze. 0-1 against Gold, but that Gold is a threatening score in Swiss Cheese Sorrows, 20-17. Good job there. Moving on, we have Watts. Watts has been playing a ton lately, which is good to see. Watts is a very fun opponent to play. 20 games this week, no wins against Silver, but he's definitely knocking on the door and has been... he did even put up a domination against his friend Venom666. That is a 20-0 with 0 suicide shutout in Agile. Nice job, Watts there. Lady Silver poking her head in with 3 wins. All 3 games and 3 wins. 2 of them against Silver. 1 is a domination over Swarthy, 20-8 in Logic. B2AF playing 23 games this week, 6-2 versus Silver, 8-0 against Bronze as well. Some close games, 20-18 against Swarthy in UG for that trophy match, and an overtime 21-19 win against Swarthy in Lurk. Also a 20-17 win against Hyper in Lurk. And finally, he's got some impressive scores in against Gold here. How about a 17-20 close game against Melvin in Mind Tricks, and a 17-20 close game against Bahamut in Killbox. Killbox, of course, being a dogfight level. B2AF, good at those dogfights, and taking one of the top pilots on the league almost to the edge there. Very nicely done. But the top of Silver has to be, Ernie392 has just been tearing it up. 15 games this week, 2-0 against Silver, including a close game against B2AF in Ascend, 20-17. 2 dominations against Bronze, which you need to hold them to 5. Those include a 20-2 win over Lee in Athena X2 and a 20-3 win over Bird Dog in Logic X2. But the story has been in Gold with 3 threatening scores all against Rethink. 20-18 loss in Crimson, 20-17 loss in Mind Tricks, a 20-17 loss in Logic, but the wins. 4 Dark Horses coming with a rare Dark Horse domination. And this one I'm going to point out as a very surprising win. It is a 20-9 domination score over Bahamut in Black Rose. You don't do that to Bahamut, but Ernie did, and that is a very impressive score. Another Dark Horse domination. This one's 20-10 over Rethink, but this is in Ernie's home level of Athena X2. Also getting Dark Horses 20-18 in Athena X2 over Deimos, and a 20-17 in Audacity X4 against Rethink. So Ernie making a lot of noise, maybe pushing Gold soon. We'll see. The Lag Monster did it. Yeah. I mean, true. Ernie is in Japan. And he's very, very much used to playing with the lag, but having remembered how he played when he was Bronze versus how he plays now, completely different pilot, much better than he used to be. Going into Gold, we say hello to Rethink. 14 games this week, nothing against Gold or Diamond. Deimos also poking his head in for 18 games. He is 2-1 against Gold, including a 20-16 win against Vaniac in Mark 39.2's home level of Wyndham 1.1. Also, 2 threatening scores against Diamond pilot Jedi Luke, 22-20 in Lurk, and 20-16 in Athena. Both of those wins for Jedi Luke, but very close games for Deimos. Melvin up there is in the 6th spot. 33 games for him, 4-5 against Gold, including an overtime win, 22-20 against Vaniac and Logic, and 20-17 against Rethink, also in Logic. 1 threatening score for him, a 16-20 loss to Jedi Luke in Logic. So Melvin has been really picking it up lately. No losses against Bronze or Silver, some good games against Gold, and even a close score in Diamond. Good for him. Moving on to Maniac, number 5 spot, 22 games this week, 5-3 against Gold, and those include 2 close games, 20-17 versus Deimos and Lurk, and 20-15 against Melvin in Ascend, but also includes 2 dominations. Both of these coming against Gold pilot Melvin, 20-7 in Mind Tricks, and 20-10 in Agile. Bahamut coming in for 6 games this week, 1-0 against Gold, 20-13 over Vaniac in Killbox. And the top spot being held by Solja has not played in the past week, but we will recognize he is currently sitting at number 1 on the ladder. But now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show that I'm going to deem the domination show. 55 games for Diamond Pilot Jedi Luke. That includes 11 wins over Bronze, 6 wins over Silver, 3 of them dominating scores with a 20-1 over Firex and Logic, a 20-0 shutout over Watts in Wrath X4, and a 20-2 win over B2AF in Logic X2. But, I mean, I'm going to have to take a drink for this. 38 games for Jedi Luke in Gold this week. 3 of them were close games. We mentioned the 22-20 over Deimos, the 20-16 over Deimos, and the 20-16 over Melvin. Got those out of the way. 24 of these 38 games, he held the Gold Pilot to 10 or less. Those include 20-10 over Vaniac in Logic X2, 20-6 over Melvin in Mega Athena X5 with a missile cap of 6, 20-6 over Melvin in Mega Athena, 20-5 over Deimos in Ascend X2, 20-8 in Ascend over Deimos, 20-5 over Deimos in Logic, 20-8 over Deimos in Logic, 20-6 over Deimos in Wrath X4, 20-10 over Deimos in Crimson X2, 20-6 over Melvin in Logic, 20-5 over Melvin in Logic, 20-8 over Deimos in Athena, 20-7 over Deimos in Logic, 20-8 over Bahamut in Viral 3, 20-8 over Vaniac in Logic, 20-10 over Vaniac in Savage, 20-8 over Deimos in Logic X2, 20-8 over Rethink in Ascend X2, 20-7 over Rethink in Nocturnal X3, 20-3 over Rethink in Audacity X2, 20-7 over Rethink in Flee X2, 20-8 over Rethink in Logic X2, 20-5 over Melvin in Logic X4, and a 20-10 over Melvin in Logic. I have to say, that is a long list of dominations from a man that we're used to getting a long list of dominations from. And I think this is probably, in terms of percentage-wise, probably one of the best weeks versus Gold I've seen from any Diamond Pilot so far. That is 24 out of 38 where he held his opponent to 10 or less in Gold. So, very impressive scores there for Jedi Luke there. And as far as match of the week, I wanted to scroll back up because there was one that caught my attention here. Where are you? I think... Where is it? Yes. Match of the week this week. We had a lot of interesting games. Of course, we had the 20-9 from Ernie was definitely a consideration this week. But I wanted to call out a particular bronze player who has been playing well above his normal level this week, we'll call it. And I'm going to give this one this week to Can I Play Dad's 16-20 threatening score against Watts in Logic. And that is, Can I Play Dad? He's struggled a long time in Bronze, and it is very rare that we come across his name in the Silver section, and we did it 4 times this week. And I really consider Watts to be one of the, he's probably a mid to high tier Silver, I'd say, and to put up 16 against him in a standard level like that, well done. So that is going to be the match of the week. And that's going to wrap it up for the DCL. If you have any questions, comments, confessions, or whatever the hell Morphod says, please send us an email to emails@selfdestructsequence.org. Be sure to mention if you want to be named on air or if you want to remain anonymous and be a chicken. Other ways you can contact us on Facebook. You can find us at fb.me/SDS podcast, over on Twitch at twitch.tv/SDS podcast, and on Twitter at twitter.com/SDS_activated. And you can find all of our information over at selfdestructsequence.org. Be sure to check us out over on iTunes. You can give us a rating, review, be sure to subscribe to the podcast there. And if you or someone you love would love to get back into the mines, you can find that page over at descentchampions.org/new_player.php, where you can find all the information to get you up and running on the modern game of Descent. And that does it for 2016, folks. I hope you had a good year. I hope you'll have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next year. Until next time, see you, bye.